Today I want to do a quick review of the Victorinox Sentinel one-handed knife. This isn't really a new model, but was new to me. Thanks to Fax Tech for sending this out to me to take a look at. It's my first Swiss Army knife in many years. So here is the box my knife came in, and it's a little bit worse for wear after international shipping. But really it's not much on it. I thought it was interesting. It has some Chinese on it, given that it is Swiss made here. It did come with a little brief manual here, but this manual is more generic for other models. It doesn't address the Sentinel specifically, just kind of some information about how to keep your knife new and working well. The outside handles of this knife are reinforced plastic. Victorinox is calling this polyamide. They have a light amount of texture to them, probably hard to see in video here, but they're fairly smooth. I'd call this a low texture grip surface. They're not solid, but they don't feel completely hollow either. I imagine there's reinforcing in there as well. You do get the shield that's printed on there, which is kind of nice to see. This material does scratch. I don't know if you can see it here very well, but that's present. You get the famous Victorinox tweezers that store in the rear, and then the toothpick as well. It's got a ring here that you can connect to a piece of paracord or loop or something like that. This is a fairly large knife for a Swiss Army knife. Open length is 196 millimeters. As you can see there, it's pretty large. If I compare it to my Ontario Rat 2, if I line them both up the end here, that's kind of the size comparison between the two. Thickness wise, they're similar, with the Rat being just a little bit thicker, it looks like. If I put it on a dollar bill here, you can see it's quite a bit longer than that when folded out. For me, it fits pretty well in the hand. I'll go over ergonomics here in a minute. Blade length is 80 millimeters, or about 3.2 inches, and closed length is 110 millimeters. Thickness is 12.2 millimeters. And there it is closed on a dollar bill for scale. Before I open it up here and show you the blade, you can see it says Victorinox Swiss made there, which is a nice touch. But here we are. We'll look at the blade a little bit more. And you can see that it is partially serrated. And rather than being like the sharp serration points, this front 3/4 has those scallops. I thought I wouldn't like this, but at least right now when it's sharp, it really works well to open letters and packages. It really cuts through tape with ease. Unfortunately, the blade's only sharpened here on one side, kind of similar to a chiseled grind. If we look at the back side here, we can see there's no secondary bevel there. That will make sharpening harder. At least it's something I'm less used to doing myself. And with these serrations here, it's hard to sharpen serrations. So that's one place for me that's a ding. They do make a full flat grind model of this without the serrations, and that might be one to choose instead. It does have that sharpening choil there. Deployment, I really do like this, I'm going to call it a spidey hole. When I have the blade closed, I stick my thumb in there, and it's just easy to deploy it. There is no mention of what type of steel this knife has on it. The lock bar on this knife is a liner lock, as you can see there, and it's really, really stiff. The other thing about it that's a little bit uncommon is this knife would be ideal for left-handed people, because this lock bar you've got to push from left to right in order to close it, like you saw there. It also makes quite a bit of noise in opening. Most of your folders, like the Ontario Rat here, work opposite. You push from right to left and close it. Now, I use my knife on my right-hand side. I store it on my right-hand side most of the time. So for me, this is second nature. Switch that around, make me do it in my left hand, one-handed, and it's harder to use, I think. You can do it right-handed, but you almost need something like your body to push against to get that blade to close. For me, it's just not ideal. The ergonomics in the hand are decent, but nothing special here. When open, I find it's best if I put my hands kind of back like this, back against there, and then my thumb against the choil here on the blade. And there's no jimping, which I'd like. it'd be something to lock into. But this is pretty comfortable here. You can choke up on it if you want to and do detailed work. Although with a serrated blade, I don't think you probably will, or be back here. My conclusion is that the Victorinox Sentinel 1 handed model is a good, solid, large knife, but mine isn't the spec that I'd buy again. I would choose a model that had the pocket clip, and then I would be more likely to use it as EDC. I'd also buy the non-serrated model so I could sharpen it up easier. The lock's really stiff on mine, and it really hasn't loosened up. Being on the other side is a little bit strange too, but nothing that I can't deal with. I like that it's still made in Switzerland and hasn't been outsourced, and it's pretty dang light at about 2.5 ounces for this size of knife. I think this would be a good option if you're a backpacker or somebody that is weight sensitive, but still wants a fairly large, fairly robust blade. For me, this knife's probably going to live in my work backpack as a backup or maybe for some paracord projects. If you've got one of these Victorinox Sentinels, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video, and if you've enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like. Thanks for watching.